Hi, everybody, and thank you for having me today. My name is Sukanya Ayatakshiando, and I'm a senior academic at Bournemouth University Business School. And it's an absolute privilege and pleasure to be here to share my experiences of being a student of Odyssey, learning with the maestro, Sushmita Pati. Um, I want to reflect on my experiences and my background, which makes this form of art very close to my heart. Dancing has always been a deep passion for me. It's something I always say that it makes my soul free and happy. When I dance, when I practice my dance just for myself without thinking of the performance, that's when perhaps I am most connected to my own self. We all inhabit a number of roles in the course of a day. For me, it's the role of a mother, a daughter caring for an elderly parent, a wife, and a teacher in no particular order. Of course, the mother role comes predominantly. But when I dance, that's just for myself. And it has always been like that. Since I was a very little girl, I have always learned and found great joy in learning various forms of Indian classical dancing. I grew up in the eastern state of Assam in India. Many of you would be familiar with Assam because that's where the tea comes from, Assam tea. And we are geographically quite close to the state of Orissa, culturally quite similar as well. So if you think of the cultural artifacts, as in the religious rituals of Hinduism between the two states, they're fairly similar. Our religious mythologies have similar stories to them as well. Food is similar. The music has got quite a lot of overlap. And I grew up learning Manipuri classical dancing, again, another form of Eastern Indian classical dancing. I learned for a number of years poet Rabindranath Tagore's uh, music and prose based semi classical dancing called Rabindra Nitya. So, Odissi wasn't something that was entirely unfamiliar to me. I always found it one of the most graceful forms of dancing, and as many of you would be familiar, many of our Indian classical dancing has its heritage rooted in temple worship and around the Hindu rituals and Hindu festivities. And I have grown up celebrating the chariot festival of Lord Jagannath of Orissa. Again, it's very, very close to my heart. The Rath Yatra is when we would all queue up as little girls to actually pull the rope that attached the chariots, because it's meant to bring you good luck, and I hope it has done so. What it means for me, dancing, is very, very deep and very, very personal. Like I said, it brings me great joy, and particularly in this pandemic, when every single one of us are cooped up within our homes, working, trying to manage uh, our work commitments to our expectations and relationships at home, and trying to carve out those few moments of joy everywhere. I found dancing to be a great solace, because that's where it's only for myself. It's not for my child, it's not for my work, because in the course of a day, all of us inhabit a number of different roles. I'm a mother, I'm a daughter caring after an elderly parent, I'm a wife, and I'm a teacher. Fairly in that particular particular order, probably. But when I dance, I'm free of all my other roles, and it's just I, me, myself. That's not to say that the other roles are unimportant, but it is important for us to disconnect with our various identities that we operate within to recharge and reset our batteries. And for me, dancing is the greatest way for me to maintain my mental health, definitely my physical health, is given me a great opportunity to engage in physical activity that perhaps I wouldn't have done otherwise. 5 years ago, I met Sushmita Pati, probably even 6, 7 years ago. But 5 years ago, I started learning with her. But because I'm based in Poole and her classes were in Basingstoke, it wasn't a reality for me to travel. So when she kindly invited us to start the classes over Zoom, I wasn't quite sure how it was going to work, but I was absolutely supremely keen to do that. And we started in spring this year. And in these few short months, with her utter dedication to all her students, and I absolutely love the way she teaches us, and I'm very privileged to have a maestro as my guru. And I have really enjoyed these few months. It has given me something to call my own all the time, and I have kept myself busy with practicing and learning various forms of the dance. Indian classical dancing comes with the shringar element of it, as you can see. And that in itself is very important as well, because that also encourages you to become that character, become that persona that you are presenting through the performing arts. Again, for me, living in the United Kingdom, it is a great way for me to stay connected to my heritage, to engage with something that I have always felt was very dear to my heart. So I hope to continue doing Odyssey for a